It's the Live and Level podcast, where real gamers come to talk. You know what we do. We got Keith Norris, B2K, K-Bomb20, Jedi Knight all the way from Germany, and the one and only Leveled Head. Hey, welcome to the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Get your popcorn, people. Get your freaking popcorn. It's about to go down.
What's up, folks? It's your boy Level here, back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is episode, I think, 90, ain't it? 100. That's what it is.
No, it's about 9. That was 99.
99? Is it 99? I think we did 99 Sunday with Jedi Knight.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I think it's 100. So, yeah, man. All right, let me stop. Welcome. We about to get it in tonight. So, anyway, I got the whole crew here. We got K-Bomb20 all the way back from London.
For sure.
We got Keith Norris with the mic fixed, so we know he's going to be talking a lot tonight.
Yes, sir.
And we got D2K, which we missed for the last two podcasts, so it's nice to have him back on. You might hear a lot of button smashing.
It's funny. Just as soon as you said that, somebody was trying to throw me out.
Man, you gonna have to mute that, man.
But anyway, man, we back up in this joint. Anyway, that is the new intro. I'm still working on it. It's a little muffled, so let me know what y'all think. All the guys here and those who heard it in the live stream or the live chat, let me know what y'all think. I'm going to work out some of the kinks, add a little bit more polish to it, I guess, over the week. And then for next week, it'll be even better. So, but yeah, I'm trying to get it right. I've been talking about getting this podcast intro done so we can get it right, so it can reflect what's current. And so that's what I'm trying to do. No, Keith Norris wasn't on there. We still had John Shaw and all that on there. So I had to get all that off and get Keith on. And it is what it is, folks, but it is slowly progressing. What you think, guys? Am I progressing a little bit now?
Yeah, momentum.
So before we get all into what you gaming on and different things like that, man, any new things popping off in y'all life, in y'all world? You know what I'm saying? Keith Norris, anything special that took place in your world?
Not really.
No. What about you, D2K? Outside of the WrestleMania 16,
I don't know what that game is, but
what is it?
WWE 2K.
Oh yeah, WWE 16. My bad.
No.
I did seen the pictures you put up, man. The drawings you did two, right?
Yeah, I did.
It was pretty nice. I like that one, the darker skinned chick. I don't know if you got any name. Do you name your characters that you make?
Yeah, she has a name.
What was her name?
Her name is Kayla Omari.
Okay. Man, I was listening to a podcast. Well, it's like
Is she Irish? Kelly Omari.
Kayla
Omari. Get it right, K-Bomb. Come on.
Irish last name. That's good.
I was listening to Triforce Johnson. He doing like this whole playing through of the Zelda games, and he telling his own personal timeline how he think it should go. And in there he asked about some people who could possibly draw him some like art to fit into his final version when he do all the editing and stuff. And the first person I thought about was you, but I was like, I ain't finna throw D2K name out there without getting his permission.
That'll be a good idea.
Huh?
That'll be a good idea.
Yeah,
let's run with that.
So anyway, but I did think about you, man. I was like, dang, I bet D2 would be good at that. But anyway, K-Bum being back from London, man, what's the word?
Rain is the word, man.
It's raining our way, ain't it? It's raining crazy.
My basement done got some flood in my basement. I'm trying to get that taken care of. Man, that's irritating. But
what you got to get out the cave?
Yeah, man, I'm out the cave right now, man. We got 4 big fans trying to blow down my basement, try to keep the water, trying to, I guess, get the water out of the carpet because I got a carpet down there. So that sucks.
Yeah, thankfully, I had a little water get in, but you know, my basement don't have any carpet down, so I can put some towels where they're coming in at, and it's just little streams. And then once it stops raining, I can wring those towels, wash those towels, and mop up where that water came in through the drain went to the drain. So it's been cool, man. It ain't been as bad as it had been before with less rain. So I don't know. I guess maybe I got things fixed and addressed, but yeah, I've been blessed this time around. Normally I'd be having water like that too. It's been raining like crazy. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this, man.
Hold on, can I
go ahead.
Can I insert something right quick before we get into the games?
Yeah.
So Lonzo Ball revealed his shoes, the big ball.
Oh, yes.
Have y'all seen this mess?
Yeah. Yeah, I seen it. The price is the problem for me.
Yes.
It ain't the shoe, it's the price. $450. Like, dude, really?
No, $495.
Is it $495? I thought it was $450.
Wait. For some shoes, bro?
Yeah, bro. And people trying to hate on them. They're not. If you bought Steph Curry's, don't tell me nothing about. If you bought any of Kobe Bryant's shoes, don't you talk about an ugly shoe. Like Kobe always had ugly shoes.
But these ain't no $490.
Right. That's the problem. I would actually, if they was 100, 150, just to support.
Why is anybody buying any shoes from this scrub in the first place?
I'm gonna tell you why I would support it, D2K.
And his own
because he going against the establishment. He going against the Nikes and the Reebok.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that mess. This dude's a clown. Get this dude out of here. Don't give him send him your money, man. Please.
I would actually, if I actually like the BBB. What does it stand for? I know it's some baller.
It was a big baller brand or something.
Yeah, I like big baller brand. I like how I look. I'm not gonna lie. I like.
He can't even use them because the Better Business Bureau got them, so he might get a lawsuit coming from them. Triple B, you know.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they did have some. I thought they escaped any. I don't think they can sue him because of the design of it or something like that. But anyway,
well, he can't use BBB. You'll have to think of something else, you know.
He using it. That's what he used. That's the logo, BBB.
Well, he's not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, so you know. I wouldn't expect him to check up on stuff.
Like I said, the reason I would get him, Keith and all y'all, I was thinking about it when I was looking at the video about the commercial was kind of corny. I ain't gonna lie. When is it Lonzo or Lamar? Which one is the father?
I think it's the LeVar.
Father is Lamar, right?
I don't even know.
I think Lonzo is the son. Well, when
that's correct.
Yeah, when he got out the car and began to run the jog like he was a cross trainer and began to run up the hill, I was like, dude, who choreographed and kind of wrote out what y'all were going to be doing? Because this ain't basketball related. This ain't a cross trainer. It's a basketball shoe. You need to be on the court dunking, playing against a whole bunch of people. So in that sense, they need to work on the marketing and how they market it. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I as much as the dude is allowed, like you said, D2K, somewhat idiot, comes off like idiot.
No, not somewhat. Take that off.
I think there's method behind the madness. That's why I say it like that. I think there's method to his madness.
His method is to keep his face on television.
Right, but it's working.
It's not about a cause. It's because he just wants to be on TV to run his mouth. That's what it's about. He's using this to say, hey, now I have a legitimate reason to keep on TV. People that got all burned out from all the other stuff, him arguing back and forth for Charles Barkley and all them folks, that played out. Now it's just another reason why you have to pay attention to him.
Right. Well, I agree. I don't like all the nonsense that he do, but I would say this. I see a trend. If they're successful with this, then that's going to inspire all the modern athletes to kind of take control of their and see that they can make the billions and the millions off of their own products rather than having to go through Nike and get smaller cuts. They can make those and become the Nikes.
But didn't Stephon Marbury try to do this by himself before?
But he got
actually successful.
That's why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying I will support, because yes, when Stephon done it, we clowned him and joked him, and I'm seeing the possible the cons to that. Like, we should support our own and empower them to take control of their own market, their own brand, and become their own brand, rather than LeBron signing a $500 million or $1 billion deal with Nike. LeBron can make his own shoe and make that into $1 billion empire, which rivals Nike. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I feel you, but I'm trying not to be like I typically would like, hey, get that garbage. I ain't buying that shoe, but $490-something, no, man.
But the thing is though, you need a jumping off point. It's not like you just come out in college and start your own multi-million-dollar brand. Like right. Michael Jordan had to start off from Nike and branched off to do his own thing. Now he has his own clothing line. He has his own stuff. Jordan's is not through Nike. It's Jordan's.
Right. I thought it was still associated with Nike, though.
Yeah, me too.
No, I mean it's it's the Jordan the Jordans are his. Okay. That's his. I mean, it started off as being Nike, but he branched off to have his own Jordans.
Yeah, you're right. It don't have the Nike logo on there no more. You
don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, it's his own standalone shoe. But I think Nike still makes them, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's still all done through Nike, but Jordan is his own brand now. It's not.
Well, it makes more sense to have that infrastructure is already in place. But I've paid all that money to build all that stuff from the ground up, and then you have to finance all the production and stuff yourself, and find all these sweatshops and stuff to make your shoes like all these other companies are doing.
What was you finna say, Keith? You was finna say something?
No, I was asking the same thing. I thought the Jordan brand was still under the Nike brand.
Yeah, it is. It's still if you go to a Nike, you'll find Jordans under there. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't like the fathers. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'll be transparent. I hate when we as blacks come off buffoonish. I don't feel like we need to be buffoonish to be taken to get attention. I'd rather him be intelligent, talk intelligent, and market his brand. He doing it the buffoon way. He got to be loud, obnoxious, don't listen, reckless, but it's working for him to get the platform he needs. But I don't know if that will last. But his son, I was like, I bought him. When I saw the price, I'm like, I'm not gonna buy them. But if it was in a reasonable price, I would buy it. I really would.
See, the price negates all that stuff that you're talking about. If he really was trying to make a change, then why are they $495?
Because they got to pay for everything. They got to pay for the marketing. They got to pay for everything. So that's what I assume.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying, but still, I mean, you're not accomplishing anything because the people that you're trying to sell a shoe to can't afford it.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's balling
not back. Not that they won't try, because I'm pretty sure people will take their rent checks to go buy these shoes just to say that they have them. People do that all the time.
People told Kanye his shoes wasn't going. Look at them. The Yeezys is up there now, man.
People will buy them. I'm not saying they won't buy them. I'm just saying that people who are sensible are not going to go out and buy these shoes.
I don't buy Jordans like that, so I ain't.
When Jordan's got the $200, I was like, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
Never again. Sorry.
I haven't spent more than I think 120 on a Jordan brand shoe, not the actual authentic Jordan, but a shoe that was of the Jordan family. The most I've ever spent is like 120.
I wasn't really interested in the shoes after he stopped playing. You know, I'm like, he ain't playing no more. Why do I want to be? It's just another shoe. You know, I mean, for me, you know, getting Jordans while he was playing, it's like, yeah, I got Jordans. He sees him Jordans. He's rocking in that playoff game. I got them boys. You know, now it's like, well, he retired. He old, so I don't care about wearing Jordans no more. Let me put the LeBrons on. Put on the whoever's playing now. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. But you know, people ain't let go of Jordan yet, man. You know, Jordan still, his name was brought up constantly because he's considered the GOAT. But K-Bun, what did you say anything, man, before we get on to what we've been gaming on?
Man, I might mess with them shoes, man. Go on to next time.
I was going off Keith. Keith brought up, you know, I just saw him. I'm just saying if it was in a reasonable price, like 130, 140, just to support them and what they trying to do, I would give me a pair. And I would rock them. I would, you know. But anyway, hey, you know. But anyway, let's get into this. What you been gaming on, man? K-Bum 20, freshly back from the Londons. How long you been back, man?
It's more than one.
I heard that.
Wow.
DJ kind of clowned.
Yeah, he clowned on that one. Well, I didn't take my PlayStation, so I was kind of fiending by the time I got back to America. So I stayed up, and played some 2K and some Overwatch. Since I've been back, I've been getting that in lately. Still trying to rank up in Overwatch. I'm hearing it was come out with some new maps and characters, so that'd be cool if they can do that. So still balling on 2K, playing in Pro-Am in the park, mostly Pro-Am. But I'm starting to get back into The Witcher a little bit more. I've picked that up. I played, I think, the last 2 days. I think I played The Witcher. And that game is, I mean, it's just a beautiful game, man. The story is just top notch, and those sex scenes, man, that's rated R, man. I saw some bush and everything. I'm like,
what? Rated R? You mean XXX?
Man,
Yeah.
I saw some bush. I'm like, what is going on with this sex scene?
He talking about Bush beer, people. Bush beer.
Man, I was like,
that's why I didn't. You know what?
Did the carpet match the drapes?
I was gonna buy it. I planned on buying it, but I was like, man, what if I'm playing it and the scene come up and I was gonna play it upstairs. I'm like, what if a scene pop up? My son happened to be in there. I don't know where the scene's gonna show up at, but I know it supposedly got some truly X-rated scenes in it.
Man, bucket naked, bruh. I was like, ain't gonna blur nothing out. You ain't gonna cover nothing up. Was strategic placed, items. Nah, bro.
Well, that's what they do. They do that on purpose. Just be random, like, whoa, catch you off guard.
I mean, but you do kind of have to walk down that path to initiate it, And so, you can mate with a bunch of people, but this is the only person that I was like digging. So I was like, yeah, what I'm saying? Let me see how far the conversation can go. But I didn't know the conversation about to go there. I mean, I'm looking at the TV screen like, wow, this is.
Oh, so you didn't know it got that bad in that game?
Well, when you first start the game, you kind of start off. Your player does start off butt naked when you first play the game. Keep know about that first scene.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, okay.
I mean, he's butt. You see his butt. I'm like, okay, all right, that's a little bit okay. Just throw him right into the game. But I've been playing the game for like 60 hours, and this is the only second time the scene has really pop back up. It's here. So, it's not like every 24 minutes you're gonna get introduced like that, but you do have to create relations with people and stuff like that before you even get down to that path. And for some of them, it takes a lot of work to get there. I think it's another scene that end up mating with somebody, but
It's quite a bit.
yeah, but you have to go down that path to do it. You can decide not to.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you got a choice of not to trigger that type of a scene.
Yeah.
You gotta say the right stuff because you can go down that path and say the wrong thing and it won't happen. So
Okay. All right, cool. So what else, man? That's it? Just a little nudity in Witcher, huh? That's all you played, huh? Just play the X-rated Witcher scene, huh? That's it?
Hey, you know how I do.
You came all the way back from London to tell us how you play the X-rated. Come on, K-Bob.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
So was it a quick time event?
that's funny.
Oh my God, I'm
Worse-
on it tonight.
Dang! I should have had the sound
Did
effects.
you have to time the X stroke with get details here, man? Details.
Man.
Let's get back to Pete. All right, let's go
the
back
detail
to.
was
Let's go back to the
what's
safe,
up with
bro.
this pony? Yeah, I don't. What's up with this pony? Maybe Keith know more about me, but they keep having sex on this pony. I don't know what's up with that.
Oh, yeah,
Look.
that's random. That's very random.
Okay.
All right. Now I don't know if anybody can top that. Quick crime sex events. D2K.
Well, let's try to bring it back into a more PG environment. I've just been playing. I mean, just recently I was playing WWE 2K16. I haven't really been playing that much because I've been doing more artwork as of late, as we were talking about before the show. I don't know if we get a chance to talk about it, but I do want to talk about a game that's supposed to be coming out next week. That's going to be on. It's a multiplat. I don't know if you guys have talked about it already or seen it. It's called NBA Playground.
Yes, comes out next week.
Yeah, and pretty much it'll be pretty much the same vein as NBA Jam. From what I saw, the game reminds me more of NBA Hang Time. I'll explain that more. If we talk about it later. But I'm interested in that game coming out next week.
Yeah, I think we should talk about it because I got some views about it that may differ from some of the other cast members. But yeah, we should talk about it.
Go ahead. I mean, it's on D2K time, so I don't want to.
Oh, okay. I mean, I thought we were good. Yeah, okay, we talk about it now. Well, I mean, like I said, it looks. I mean, graphically, it looks really good. It's going to be coming to all consoles, including the Switch. I think it's kind of interesting that some of the message boards that I went to, like on IGN and Polygon, is that it seems like there's a lot of positive feedback about what we're seeing from this, and a lot of people are saying, "Boy, I can't wait to play this game for the Switch." And it's interesting that people are saying that because it's a multiplat. But it seems like the first thing that they're going for is say, "Boy, I can't wait to play this for the Switch." And I'm thinking that, this game is made by a developer which I had never heard of before. I can't remember their name at the time, but it's not a huge developer. It's not a huge publisher either. I'm thinking like, boy, Nintendo really missed the mark on this. This should have been a Switch exclusive, because with all this, hype over this game and people want to play it, and this is using the NBA franchise, this would have been perfect as an exclusive game for the Switch. But at least it's coming to the Switch, so that's a good thing. But like I said, the gameplay, the actual mechanics remind me a lot more NBA Hang Time. If anybody played NBA Hang Time for the SNES and the arcade and the N64, I believe it was on there as well, and you watch this game, you watch the way they move and watch the way they do their moves, and when your partner goes up for the lob, you throw them up the pass. That reminds me of NBA Hang Time more than NBA Jam. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is like NBA Jam," or it's like NBA Street because you're playing outside predominantly. But I didn't really see too many similarities to NBA Street, because NBA Street was its own thing. It was completely different. The NBA Jam, it was not similar to me at all. But I want to play this game. It looks pretty hype. It looks pretty fun. I like those games where you could just suspend disbelief and just have those over the top type games. And I think that's been missing for a while.
Yeah, I think when NBA Street went out, it kind of left a void there because I used to like NBA Street and Jam and all them games and Hang Time, but it's like when NBA Street kind of went, I think it brought Jordan in or no Dr. J or one of the characters came in.
Dr. J.
Yeah, Dr. J, and then it kind of went down after that, and they never came in, especially when the shooters took off. It kind of, like a lot of genres, kind of got left in the past, like with the Dreamcast, GameCube, Xbox OG era. All them games seem to be left there, and then we got a whole new situation with the 360, PlayStation 3, and everything else. So. But go ahead, whoever else wants to say.
Well, one of the things, Level, is that sports games in general went to simulation and stayed away from arcade. Because we lost because the EA had its own pretty much department dedicated for.
Yeah. I just love big
games. It was called EA Big, I believe.
EA Sports Big.
Yeah, big.
And so that's when you had the Blitz, you had Tricky, SSX.
Yep.
Then you had the NBA. It wasn't NBA Street, and you also had the
NBA Ballers,
boxing, some of the boxing one too.
And you had wrestling with Def Jam Vendetta with the rap.
So and so when games became
NFL Street, I forgot about that.
NFL Street too. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. But when games became too much, too expensive to produce, a lot of those arcade titles went the way of the dodo, because it was a lot of money and it wasn't getting enough back from it. And this game is looking at how the game plays and how you act. A lot of the gameplay elements is NBA Jam. The shoving of the player, the swiping the ball turning a certain color when it gets swiped. Those are all elements from NBA Jam. There are aspects of the game which is different. It looks like you have to time layups and time dunks. Because I was looking at gameplay and I saw a guy miss a layup and it said early or late, which means seems like you have to time it to let it go.
Even got a lot of gameplay videos up because I haven't seen too many.
I went online yesterday and looked at some videos for this game, and so I saw some online videos, some actual gameplay of it, and the people were absolutely terrible because the game just came out. So I mean, well, not came out, the beta or whatever was out, so they were absolutely horrendous. But you were able to see some of the elements of the game and what you were getting. Point one is that you're not tied to a particular team, so. I saw one where Dwayne Wade was playing with somebody else from a different team. So you're not tied like NBA Jam was, where you have to play with the Lakers. So that means you only had to pick for the Laker players, or play with the Bulls and you pick the Bulls players. This is you pick any player to play with anybody, and also it's a pack-driven game. A trading card driven game. So what you do is you buy packs, you open up packs, you get different players out of the packs, and then you can play with those players, and then you can level and upgrade them. That is the piece of the game that makes it unplayable to me, because what it becomes is it becomes a pay to win type game, where they release these new cards that's in certain packs, and the only way to get those new cards or new players is to open those packs, and the chances of getting those players is very rare. So you either have to grind or you have to spend money to stay even with the playing field. And I don't like those type of games, so that kind of turned me off for this game.
How much does it cost? Did you
$20?
$20. I'm getting
$20.
Anyway, D2K, what else you playing, man?
That's it. Nothing else.
Currently playing something, ain't you?
No, I turned it off.
Oh, okay. All right, Keith Norris.
Okay. I have officially put in 36 hours on Mass Effect Andromeda. I've been playing a lot of loyalty missions. Haven't really touched the main story. I was off today, and I didn't even touch it. Didn't really feel like it. And I've been playing on some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Okay.
And
While your mic kind of doing that scratchy thing again, I don't know.
That was me.
Huh?
I think that was me.
Yeah, I don't that's all.
It's starting to sound like Soundwave.
Hold on. Let me reset. Let me reset. Hold on.
Okay. Well, when Keith jump back in, we get more of what he's been gaming on. As far as me, I've been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Actually, I talked about that with K-Bum and Jedi Knight. If we had Jedi Knight on Sunday, D2. But I'm going to say, man, some probably would wrestle with, is it worth paying the exact same price that you paid for Mario Kart 8 again? And I won't lie, that was kind of, I think Nintendo should have made it a little bit cheaper, but
it came out the same price.
Yeah, it came out the exact same price. It was 60 bones. That's why Keith said he wasn't going. Well, anyway, you back, Keith? Is he back? He's still muted. No, okay. Yeah,
I mean, for somebody who's never bought the game before, it would be fine. But if you already bought this, you should get at least some kind of a discount off of it. I don't know how they would do that though.
They should have had some workaround for those who owned it on the Wii U. But outside of that, and I want Keith to tell his story, but when he get back, he can tell his. Outside of that, man, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I said it this past Sunday. This game looks way better than it's the same game, but this thing looked way better than what the Wii U version looked. Its visuals just stand out in a way. I don't know if it's just because it done went 1080p or what. I feel like they reworked the stages. I think they added stuff into the stages, reworked them, polished them up, because they look this exact same stage, but the polish on the stage is really, really good. And it's like, man, it's like noticeably different in the visual front from the Wii U version. So it just can't be a straight port. They had to rework it. So it's noticeable straight out the gate. As soon as you get into a stage, begin the race, you notice the draw distance is different. The clarity of the stage is different. You see stuff that I know I never noticed in any other in the original version on the Wii U. It's just a beautiful game, and it's like, man, this is really, really nice looking. And I love the battle mode. I like the it's almost like a cop and robber type where you got to capture the opposing team, and you can put them in prison or these little jail cells. Can't think of what it's called. I think it's capture or something like that. But anyway, I like that. I like the coin collection part and then the balloons. But it's a great game. I'm enjoying it. It literally got me away from Zelda. But again, I gotta send my Switch off to get repairs, and I got I think 30 days to do it. And they saying that I probably won't keep my data. So so I'm gonna have to start all this stuff over anyway if they repair it or if they have to replace the Switch. So man, pray for your boy that my Switch survive this repair so I can keep all that. That's 100 and some hours in Zelda alone. So but yes, Mario Kart 8 is definitely a great game. I mean, Deluxe is definitely a great game. I can go into even more detail. They added this nuance too. Keith, you back yet? I don't know if you back yet. Is he back yet? No. Anyway, you could do the drifting. I don't know, K-Bun, you familiar with this? Because you like Mario. Okay. You could do the drifting around corners and different things. Well, they got a new level to the drift, which is like a purple fire. I don't know if they call it, but you go from, you got the drift fire, but then if you hold it long enough, and it goes to what it goes to a purple fire, a purple.
So it goes from orange to blue to purple.
Yeah, and dude, it's like gives you an incredible boost. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I used to dominate online. I suck now. I had nothing come with these guys. I feel like they're cheating. I feel like they have some codes in or something. I don't know how they be doing what they doing, but I know I'm pretty good at Mario Kart, and I'm coming in 5th, 6th all the time. I'm not in the bottom of the pack, but I'm definitely not contending with the front of the pack. So, but I'm enjoying it, man. I'm really enjoying it. I want to get Keith's thoughts.
I'm back.
Keith,
can you hear me?
You back with Mario Kart 8? Did you notice, was the visual improvement shocking to you?
It's weird, but it did seem a whole lot cleaner. I can't explain it, but it was definitely a lot cleaner than the Wii U version. And the Wii U version looked good.
Right.
So,
but go ahead, man. Tell your story. How you end up beating me to the punch and getting it.
So I told myself I wasn't going to buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe full price. I was like, I'm not doing it. I already had it on the Wii U. I even bought the DLC, the incredible DLC that they brought out. And I was like, Nintendo, you're not going to get me again. But I was kind of curious. And I had a little game called The Binding of Isaac. And I wanted to see what GameStop would give me for it. So I took it over to GameStop. And the guy offered me $20 cash, $25 store credit. But if I used The Binding of Isaac toward Mario Kart 8, he'd give me $30. And I was like, I really can't pass this deal up, because I really want Mario Kart 8 again with the new battle mode and everything that you just said about it, how great it is. So that's how I got Mario Kart 8. I traded in The Binding of Isaac and got it half price. So.
Now, did you notice the new level to the drift?
Oh, yeah.
Like you go from orange to blue to purple?
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to perfect it.
Yeah, it's hard to get that purple, but once you get it, man, it's like having a mushroom. That's how big the boost is.
What I typically do is I boost early, like way early. Like if I'm even on the straight plane, and if I know the curve is coming up, I will boost so early, and I kind of widen my stance, and I will boost into that curve. Not boost, but grind into that curve, and then I can get it. Because you got to start kind of do it early.
Okay, I've gotten it a few times, but I kind of do that and the, you know what I'm saying, boosting off of the jumps and ramps and different things through the game. Let me ask this, then we'll move on to the first topic. How are you enjoying the HD Rumble? Like, are you noticing things? I'm reading down in the live chat. People are kind of saying stuff they're noticing about it. I know it's good, but I haven't had some of the experiences that I'm reading down here. Like you can literally feel the coins and stuff like that. But have you noticed anything special with the HD Rumble?
Yeah, I got another story to tell, because Mario Kart 8 has prompted me to buy a Pro controller. I have been so Joy-Con boys over here, whatever them dudes call themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
I've been using the Joy-Cons, and I can't do it for Mario Kart 8. One, you pressing that A button for the whole time, and like sometimes you can press it too hard. I didn't want to do that, but I will say the HD Rumble felt better with the Joy-Cons. I guess because it's a smaller controller, you can feel the vibrations better.
Yeah,
but it felt a whole lot better. But yes, starting off with that Rumble, just doing certain things. I think you can feel it if you drive off the road. I think, but you can feel everything. You can feel the wheels go in. You can. It's nice. They really. This is the best version of Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah, definitely. What do you think about the new features where you can like put it on where you can't go off the sides, and they even have an acceleration of
that assist drive?
Yeah, the assist stuff.
I drove with it the first time because I didn't know it was on. I was like, what is this? I don't even know assistance.
Yeah, me and my brother was racing, and I was like, man, every time I got to the edge, I'm like, man, I'm controlling this good. I know I should have went off the edge. And then my brother's like 5 minutes later, like, man, can we not fall off the edge or something? I was like, yeah, you should be able to, not noticing that it's automatically on. You have to go and turn it off.
You're right.
But for my daughter, it works. It's brilliant because if I'm playing with her, I don't have to take the controller from her and get her through the stage. She can make it through the stage on her own because she's not falling off and things like that. So it's actually helping her learn how to play traditionally versus using the motion control steering way. She know how to use the analog stick now. So it's pretty cool, man. I think Nintendo thought this dude real good. So, but anyway, that's okay. So let's get into this, man. This is our first topic. Speaking of Mario Kart 8, sales numbers and things have come out since it launched, and the first number was like 500,000, but just found out that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has passed 1 million sold, and I think they did that in like 2.5 days. And the Switch numbers are steady, improving and steady. You can't find one anywhere you go. So I'm throwing this at D2K first. Is the Switch? Is the Switch really shocking? You think? Are you shocked or surprised by what's taking place with the Switch? We talked about this before, but there was the initial sales. To see it still continuing and to see what's going on with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, are you shocked?
No.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not. I've said this numerous times on the podcast, is that this is to be expected from a new console. And if you really look at the actual time frame of when the system actually launched, which was March the 3rd, it's been about 8 weeks since it launched. And usually when you have a console launch, you have strong sales for about the first 2 to 3 months. And this is something that, for me, is expected from the Switch, because, it's a new Nintendo console, first of all. So you have that feather in your cap. People want to buy it just because it's a Nintendo console, and because it's just new. And that's another reason why people will buy it. And then Nintendo actually is doing a much better job of marketing the Switch than they did with the Wii U. So that obviously helps out a lot in terms of getting it out there. And people, there's a lot of scuttlebutt about, what is this Nintendo Switch thing? Well, let me check this out. So, I'm not surprised about the sales at all. It's going to be like that probably for the next month and a half, maybe 2 months. And then they'll start to slow down a little bit towards the summer months, and then they'll pick back up again during the holiday season. As far as Mario Kart, Mario Kart was the best-selling game on the Wii U. So it's not really a shock that it was having strong sales on the Switch. This is, it's still, it's an enhanced port of the Switch. For the Wii U version. Obviously they did add a lot of things in there that weren't in there before, but the actual frame of the game is the same as it was before. But it's, the resolution is better, the texture is a little bit better, lighting's a little bit better. Pretty much anything that they didn't have the time to tighten up with the original Mario Kart 8, they did with this. And that's usually what happens with ports when you port from one console to the next. Anything that you couldn't finish, or you didn't have the resources to do it, or maybe because the Wii U didn't have enough strength to do it, the Switch is a little bit more powerful. So they go, we can just push it a little bit further. So that's one of the reasons why, Mario Kart 8 looks and plays better than the version on the Wii U, excuse me. So, I'm not surprised by the sales numbers at all. I'm not surprised by the sales numbers of the Switch or the Mario Kart 8. It's to be expected.
Okay. K-Bomb.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I went on mute. So am I surprised by, are we talking about both the Switch and Mario Kart?
Yes.
All right. So the Switch numbers themselves, I guess I'll say I'm kind of surprised. I'm happy, because it was definitely kind of mixed reviews when it came to people were excited about the portable system and people weren't. And so the fact that Zelda, which is doing most of the pushing for the system, luckily it's as good as advertised, and it's doing definitely a lot of pushing of the system, which is wonderful. So I'll say that, yeah, I'm surprised by that. And I'm definitely surprised by the Mario Kart numbers, because what I had, I guess the understanding I kind of had from Nintendo fans was that double dipping was wrong, and that ports was not something to be accepted.
Yeah, well, that's true.
every time Sony did it, every time Microsoft did it, Nintendo fans made sure to point out that their faithful system did not do that and would not do that, and they had higher standards. And so the fact that Mario Kart is over 1 million really does surprise me, and it really draws the question to me is how hypocritical is Nintendo fans being hypocritical when they say that, about ports and everything else, because this game, outside of a couple of editions, is a exact port, and the same thing for Zelda, outside of a couple of things, is pretty much an exact port of the Wii U version.
Well, I had to call pause on Zelda though.
Well, it is a port, but it's different.
Well, Zelda's more of a port than Mario Kart is. I mean, they changed a lot with Mario Kart, but Zelda, they just made it look better on the Switch.
Yeah, and Zelda wasn't out. Like if it had been out and then released again, I can understand.
Yeah. It's not the double dipping that Mario Kart is. Mario Kart is you bought it here on the Wii U, and then you're buying the same game with additions, but not anything substantial. But there are additions there. But you are double dipping.
Now, can I give? First of all, let me say this: as a Nintendo fan, I would say yes, there's a little bit of hypocrisy with me and the Norrises and
a little bit.
Because I heard it. But wait a minute. There is a caveat. There is a little difference here. Let's be fair. While I'll be the first one to admit a little hypocrisy going on, because of the situation with the Wii U and the failure that it was, only selling 13 million. I think you can kind of give Nintendo a pass for re-releasing such a good game like Mario Kart 8 was on the Switch. I think you can. I think there's an argument that could be levied against the hypocrisy that is apparent.
So what was that? So where was that argument when they re-released Last of Us on the PlayStation 4?
Here's the difference. The PlayStation has sold 80-something million platforms with The Last of Us going into the PlayStation 4. Not in the need to where they matter of fact, there's arguments that the PlayStation even needed to make the PlayStation.
Okay. So I'm about to shut this down right now.
I'm just saying. Wait a minute, hold on. I just had to defend a little bit, but I'm not disagreeing though.
Time to shut down.
All right, go ahead.
Because
Keith, where you at, Keith? Where you at?
I'm here. I'm okay. I'm turn his mic up.
Sit down.
Turn his mic up.
So I'm gonna break it down, because the thing is, it doesn't matter how many systems, it doesn't matter about it being dead, it doesn't matter about any of that. The only thing matters are the people who purchased it before, who are repurchasing the game. Those are the people, like as D2K said beforehand, if you did not buy it on the Wii U, you should feel completely empowered to go ahead and buy it on the Switch, because you are getting the better version. You're getting one of the best races on the Switch right now. But if you bought the game and played it for hours on the Wii U, you Nintendo fans are doing the exact same thing.
Wait a minute now. Hold up.
Because
counterpoint.
Counterpoint. No, let me finish the statement, and then you can do
All right, go ahead.
I'm very close. I won't be lengthy.
All right, Max Kellerman. All right, Stephen A. Smith.
because because I understand the re-releasing of Last of Us because it was released very close to the launch of the PS4, and a lot of people
I got a good counter for you. I got a good one.
And it was, and they re-released it because and they upped the graphics, made it a little bit better, and they gave some additions to it to make it look better, play a little bit better than its predecessor. It still is double dipping if you bought, and so it's, to me, it's the same. I'm not gonna give any justification for one and not the other. To me, they're both double dipping. So if
it's
you
double
were
dipping.
saying
It's
no
double dipping.
on one, I'm almost done.
Oh, okay.
If you were saying no on one and yes on the other, I therefore, sir, call you there a hypocrite.
Now, all right. So first of all, like you posted in the Twitter, me, you, and I think it was me, you, and Keith and Hangout. I think I own my hypocrisy, but I want you to answer me something, K-Bum. You know, everybody, give me 5 minutes with K-Bum 20 over here. When The Last of Us were re-released, what was new added to it? You said there was some nuances. What were they?
It was 60 frames per second. It was 1080p because the one on the PS3 was 30 frames per second. And this one was 60 frames per second.
So is that the nuance that you were talking about?
There was more stuff, but I mean that was the main difference. Just playing it on 1080p.
So
the
option to play it in 1080p and the optional 60 frames per second, which made it worse looking than 30 frames per second. Might I add? Because I
wouldn't agree with that, but you can go ahead.
I wholeheartedly agree with this. There is some similarity. There is hypocrisy here. So let's let it be known. Levelhead is not trying to smear away or wipe away hypocrisy. There is hypocrisy here. Levelhead was being a hypocrite because I was one of them guys that said the double dip is bull crap, and I double dip. Now there is a more justifying reason for buying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with the added multiplayer with battle modes, which was not in the original. Plus, you got all the DLC that came with the other games that many people probably didn't buy, plus new characters, new vehicles. So while I am being hypocritical, I have more of a justifiable reason for buying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe than I would for buying Last of Us if I owned it on the PlayStation 3. Is that fair to say?
Hey, Bum, you got the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
What'd you say?
No, I was thanking Your Honor for telling me I had the floor to speak.
Oh, okay. It's yours.
No, I don't just speak. I wait and think and then speak,
listen to him.
so I don't let bull crap come out of my mouth. So, yes, but what it sounds like to me, the difference you're saying is, I'm not wrong a lot. I'm just wrong a little. That's what you're saying.
Basically, I am. I'm saying you're not wrong. That's what I'm saying. I just sit here and said, K-Bub, you are right. Leveled head. Your boy off air. I would say my real name if we wasn't on here. I am being a hypocrite, but I have more of a justifiable reason for being a hypocrite on my end than those who played. There was nothing new outside of it looking better from the PlayStation 3.
And the DLC was also included in this one, just like it is in just like Mario Kart is included. The DLC was also included in The Last of Us.
What'd you say?
I said the DLC. It said the DLC was also included.
Okay,
in the price. It says DLC also included in price. Yeah.
Now, then The Last of Us cost cheaper on the PlayStation 4. I'm trying to help you out. Wasn't it cheaper on the PlayStation 4? Wasn't it like $30?
I don't know. I got it for like 19. Yeah, it was discounted. It was discounted.
Yeah, so see, even in admitting, I'm giving you something to make me look even better because I spent 60.
Dang.
That's right. See, I'm a balanced guy. I'm even. But Keith, since you didn't help me out, Keith, since you left me out there,
He left him hanging like
he was like, "No, level."
Hey, what the icon is? That's what he was doing.
He was like, "Yeah, you got that level. Go ahead, man. You got that."
He wasn't listening. I'm gonna defend Nintendo gamers by saying it's Nintendo. I'm gonna just say it's a business. Sony did it because they didn't have a lot of games at the time for the PS4. Obviously, Nintendo is doing the same thing. Plus, like Level already mentioned, you got 13 million Wii U owners, and then you trying to get the rest of the world to play Mario Kart. They're not gonna go back and buy the Wii U. So moving forward, this is a great game that you sent out to die on the Wii U. You may as well bring it back. That's the defense.
Yeah.
Well, I'll kind of add something to that is that, the install base of the Wii U is 13 million and Mario Kart sold roughly half of that. So I'm pretty sure Nintendo said, well, we can at least get that many people to buy this game, and a lot of those people who don't have Switches will go out and buy the Switch for this game specifically, because I'm pretty sure there were people who bought the Wii U for Mario Kart. So, but I think if you go back to what this conversation is about, is that it's not really about the sales. It's not about how many consoles were sold, and what content is in the game or whatnot. The bottom line is that there is a group of people out there who just basically said, as a blanket statement, that just because there's a port on your console, doesn't matter what the reason was, just because there are ports there, it is wrong. And Nintendo is better than Microsoft and Sony because they don't do that.
I never said that. Now, I don't know where K-Bum got that from.
No. I'm not saying that you said that. I'm saying that there is a contingent of people out there from all fan bases who say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes. They have revisionist. They have revisionist history. They see what they want to see and they hear what they want to hear.
Yep.
Their company doesn't do anything wrong. Everybody else's company sucks. And then when their company turns around and does the same thing, it's okay.
Now, going back to that dude hiding behind that shield. Now, I know individuals like D2K just said that exact line. What I pointed out, and I'm still call myself a hypocrite, I was talking about The Last of Us when I brought up port. I didn't think there was a need for The Last of Us port with the success of the PlayStation 3 going into the PlayStation 4. You didn't have to do that. The PlayStation 3 and The Last of Us was very successful on the PlayStation 3 on a very successful platform. Where I give space, and it's not me being biased, I would do this if it was the same situation coming out like the Genesis. I mean, like the Dreamcast, if Sega made a new system that because of the sales of the Dreamcast, I understand why, like Keith said, Nintendo put Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch because it was sent to die on a platform that died. So if they bring Smash Brothers, it's justifiable. Now, we might be those who went ham on the whole port situation. Yeah, they really hypocritical. Me, I'm hypocritical to an extent, but not like those dudes. Anyway, so I just want to put that caveat. But K-Bub, I yield. You beat me. Hey, now, I want to run. I tap out. He got me. But I didn't say that though. My only venom was towards Sony with The Last of Us. I bought Zelda, and that was a port. I mean, Wind Waker, that was a port. I bought it. So it wasn't about ports. It was about how fast the port came, and the fact that was my issue.
Well, they already came out and said that they were working on the PS4 version of Last of Us while they were still finishing the PS3 version. When they actually showed it, they said that the reason why it was so fast because they were already working on it.
Well, it's kind of like what they were doing with Breath of the Wild, is that they were working. I mean, they basically built it for the Wii U, but they were working on finishing the Switch version of it, simultaneously. After a certain point, they had to start the porting process over to the Switch version, even though because they didn't build both from the ground up on different consoles. They built one version and then they split off, and then they started tinkering using the assets of the Switch to make the Switch version look better. But it's like the same situation is that they were working on both at the same time, so that way it could be done and both released at the same time when the Switch launched on March the 3rd.
Right. So I mean, it's just funny. But K-Bum, you're right. A lot of these dudes was out there talking reckless. I wasn't one of those dudes, but they were talking reckless, and they looking mighty hypocritical right now. But still, great game, just like Last of Us was a great game. You live and you learn. Anyway, let's move on.
So, hurry up and get away from that.
Me too. I'm turning coattail like a mug, man. So anyway, let's go to this next topic, man. I'm gonna save the Darksiders because I know some of y'all haven't played that, so we'll talk about that at the end. But I want to get into this situation with Microsoft. We've been talking about this. I think the last two podcasts, with all four of us on here, we talked about Microsoft having no identity, and it's kind of strange that an article comes up about an interview and some things that Phil Spencer said that I thought was kind of went back to what we was already saying. So in the interview, Phil Spencer made an interesting statement about how they like what they use the game Zelda Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn. And they said they like those two games, think those two games are great, but they're not trying to make those type of games. And I think they were talking about going more towards a quicker multiplayer type of route. Am I wrong in what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing because
more of a game service. Like,
okay, go ahead, take over, Keith. You might be able to explain it better than me.
Well, I was just gonna rebuttal, but I think he was trying to say like games like what's the game Overwatch and games like that, the big multiplayer games where people consistently pay for things and different things over time. These games last longer. Like people were still playing the first Destiny. And when did that game come out? What, 2014?
Yes,
yeah.
I think
something
that's
like
the type of servicing type of things that he's trying to look forward towards. And I think he mentioned also, did he say something about like a Netflix type of?
Yeah, he was talking about Netflix service.
So I think they're trying to make money over time instead of putting out these one, like Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn. These games are great, but you're not going to play them past a certain point once you beat it. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to maximize the content.
He's trying to keep you playing. He's trying to keep you playing the game and making money off of that game by DLC, paid transaction, things like that, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So,
which Overwatch doesn't do. I heard you say that. I just want to throw that in there, but go ahead.
Well, I was just trying to think of something.
I know. I was just
let's get. I want each one of you guys' opinions, and I'm gonna start back with Keith. So, based on that, first of all, wait a minute, we wasn't even done. I got to come back to Mario Kart. I mean, to Switch. I'll come back later. Do you agree with it? What Phil and Microsoft is talking about? Do you agree with it? And let's answer that first. Do you agree with it?
Yeah, factually, he's correct. A lot of these games that we buy and these single player games that we buy, we don't play longer. We're ready to move on to the next one. So in that regard, I agree with him. I disagree with him in the state of the position of the Xbox One. I don't think you should be saying stuff like that. I think you should not tell the public that that's what you're focusing on.
Well, say that thought because I got I want to ask the question, and then what you just said gonna play right on into it.
All
but
right.
you say you do agree with the premises of what he's saying.
From a business standpoint, I agree with him 100%.
Okay. D2K.
I don't really know what he's doing. This is a direct quote from him. Horizon Zero Dawn's great, he remarked. As an industry, We should want single player to be healthy. Today, as a genre, we see fewer single player games being built. What is it? He says, everything has turned into console wars. I love single player games. And it goes on from there, and he said Sony sent him a collector's edition of Horizon Zero Dawn, which I don't know why they had to put that in the article, but like this guy, he's the CEO of Microsoft, or the games division of Microsoft, and yet he has exuberant praise for Sony and Nintendo whenever they do something. And I'm like, if I'm a Microsoft fanboy, I'm like, dude, why don't you stop being such a cheerleader for for Nintendo and Sony, and start making some stuff for Microsoft so they can cheer you for a change. But, I don't know. I mean, I understand the standpoint that you want to have something that is the gift that keeps on giving. You don't want to have a lot of one and done type games, because, when you have major, single player outfits, once you beat the game, you feel like you've accomplished something. You don't really want to play it again for a while. Even if there is replay value, just to I want to take a rest from this. So I do understand from that standpoint that, we need to move on and have something that people can just consistently play every single day and pick up and play a little bit of this and put it down, put a little bit of that and put it down. But they're not in a position of power right now. They cannot make decisions like that. They need to give their fan base everything. They need to have those single player games and the MMOs and the sports titles and the fighting games and the shooters and everything else their fan base wants and needs. You're not in a position to be choosy on what you're doing. Nintendo can do that, Sony can do that, but Microsoft, you can't, because you don't have anything. You have nothing. That's like saying that, you have nothing in the refrigerator, nothing in the cupboard, and you're going to say, well, we're just going to buy sugar, salt, and pepper. Okay, what are we going to use to cook with that stuff? You're going to buy some meat, some vegetables, something? I mean, come on. You got to give us more than what you're giving us. And I don't know. Like I said, either they have something huge behind the closed doors that we don't know about, it's going to shock everybody, or this guy has no idea what he's doing, and he's basically on borrowed time with this company.
Okay, I got a question I want to ask, but I want to get K-Bum's thoughts on this part first. So go ahead, K-Bum.
Well, I've been reading a little bit different into what he's saying, but what I'm hearing him say, because one thing we have to understand about games like what he named, the the Breath of the Wild, and the Horizon, is that these games are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like that initial payment that you have to put in for these kind of games, the amount of time that it takes. I think, was it 4 to 5 years for Horizon? It took them to build this game. Because I believe they built the engine from scratch, unless they leveraged some of the Killzone engine. But I believe they built this from scratch, and I believe this was a 5-year process. When you got these story-driven games, it's expensive both in time and in money. But when you have stuff like these games that you can kind of halfway do and then do more later on. Kind of like the fighting game.
That's what you going right where my question was. Go ahead.
Kind of like the fighting
Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm. Where and even bump that. Even Street Fighter's been doing that.
Unfortunately,
they give you partial of a game and then build it. Destiny did it. Destiny gave you a partial game and then tried to build it. Division did it, gave you it gave you a little bit more of a partial game, but then they gave you more content for people to continue to play it. It's less. It costs less to do that because you don't have that initial expense that you do when you have these Uncharted and you have to build these worlds. You can't shortchange it. And so what I'm hearing from them is that we don't have the time, the money, or the effort to put in to make games like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you some Candy Crush. We're going to give you some of that, some sweet stuff you can chew on, that Bubblicious, It's good for the first 15 seconds, and then it tastes bland. And then,
Tastes
and then
like
we're
dirt
gonna
afterwards.
exactly. And then we're gonna keep popping more bubblicious in you because that allows us to make money because that's how you want to play games, right, guys? No, as D2K said, we like. I go for my basketball, I go for my shooters, I go to my Uncharted, I go to my Witchers, I go to my RPGs. I mean, Keith was talking about he been his Mass Effect, and he's been playing, going back and forth, even from with the Switch. You know, we don't just want one type, and the audience. And the thing is, these games sell. He's talking about it's not consistent. Well, it's not consistent when you're putting out stuff like the bad story-driven game that Microsoft has put out. Yeah,
it's not consistent. It's not consistent.
Yeah.
With Microsoft. It is consistent on Nintendo and Sony.
And Sony has made their living off of story-based games. I mean, you look at many of their real heavy hitters, Infamous, God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us, are all single-player, heavy story-driven games that people buy, that they sell millions of.
So let me go back to what you said, because you made a point that I was finna make, because this is what as y'all was talking, as Keith was talking and describing what he took, and D2K and UK Bum, the first game that popped in my mind was Killer Instinct, and I was immediately turned off. Like, this is not the model that I want. Because first of all, I felt like I wasn't getting my money's worth, and you basically selling this like puzzle pieces. It's like, oh, I got to keep buying all these new pieces to create this full picture. So I'll spend more to get what what I would have gotten had you just had all that ready for $60. Now I spent 100 or 120 if I buy everything. You know, I'm just throwing out numbers, but if I bought everything Microsoft wanted me to buy with Killer Instinct, I would have spent, that's 20, 20, 20, I think four different times. So that's almost 80-something bucks.
Well, it's more than that. If you go for each season, you know, season 1, 2, and 3, you know, it's at least $30, $39, $49 at a clip to get the whole thing. So that's like over $100.
Right. So, and it's like, if that's your model, and this goes to my second point, if that's your model, how does that address what the real problem is? No identity. Like you just said, K-Bum, and Keith was, we all have said it, especially D2K. D2K kind of framed it. He kind of really put it in the picture, and you really see it. The problem with Microsoft is, like we said before, no identity. You know what you get with Sony. You know what you get with Nintendo, and it seems to be working. Last time I checked, Horizon is selling. Last time I checked, God of War sold. Last time I checked, Uncharted sold. Last I checked, just about every game that they do in that formula for Sony sales. Their fan base wants that. When you look at Nintendo, Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
Even the new one for PlayStation that came out this year.
Right.
Nier.
That's a dope game.
Neo. Neo.
Yeah, Neo and Nier Automata and Neo. I'm thinking of Neo. Neo's a dope game. Nier is too, but Neo is really dope. But go ahead,
man. Those games are sold, man.
Right. So, and I'm going to Nintendo. You got Splatoon. You got Mario. You got Odyssey. You got Zelda. And them games sell. It seems like, to me, Microsoft is like, if I was using an analogy, Microsoft is like an artist who's trying to make the latest hit, trying to match the latest hit, instead of just finding their voice and making and creating an original hit. Like, outside of Halo and buying Gears of War from the people they bought that franchise from, because they didn't create Gears of War, they just bought the exclusive rights to it
from Epic.
So you didn't create that franchise. So Halo is the only franchise that you've made outside of something like Forza, who Well, I ain't gonna look at Forza in this sense. Halo is your game that you made, and okay, it's hot. You made a hit. You weren't looking at nobody else. You made a hit, and everybody bucked to your hit. Everybody's trying to mimic and emulate what you did. And it seems like all they doing now is trying to emulate what Sony is doing, trying to emulate what Nintendo is doing, instead of being a good creator and creating a hit that's original and distinct to them. And that's their problem. And like Keith said, if you're going to do this, Phil, why are you telling us that you finna micromanage us? Like, dude, you are balling backwards. It's like, for real. But go ahead, D2K. You was finna say something.
Well, you mean he balling with bricks, like you said the last time I was on. You know, he just, I mean, I can't do this. This guy, I just don't get it. What he's doing, you can't. I mean, look, like what he's describing that Microsoft needs to do, quite as it's kept, is probably what Nintendo needs to do with the Switch. Because when you have a console that's not as powerful as your competition, it would behoove you to have more than to have less and try to put everything into one big title. Just have a whole bunch of good titles, and that's where all the indie stuff comes into play. We have all these indie studios that are up and coming and actually making some really awesome looking games all coming to the Switch. And if Nintendo said, let's just dial it down a little bit and have a lot more and dip into some of these genres that we haven't shown for a long time, that can entice people to come back on board that left us a long time ago that felt like we don't care about them anymore. Let's bring back Hogan's Out. Let's bring back Kung Fu. Let's bring back Gyro Mike. Let's bring back, stuff from the 80s and early 90s. And they don't have to look fantastic, but they just look, they're just new. They look better than they last time you saw it. So the smaller, the smaller game theory works a lot better with Nintendo. Well, Microsoft, they didn't get here on that train. They got here being big and bad and pushing graphics to their absolute limits. That was the whole point of the Xbox console from Bill Gates, because they originally just wanted to put Windows on the PlayStation, and Sony said no. So he said, okay, screw them. We'll fix you. We're going to make a new console, make sure it's more powerful than the PlayStation 2. And from that point on, Bill Gates said, as long as I'm around, if I have anything to do with it, our console will always be more powerful than Sony's. And then they came out with Halo on the Xbox, the original Xbox, and it was a sleeper hit. I mean, you had first-person shooters like that before. You had Quake, and you had Unreal Tournament, other stuff. But Halo was something that just, the multiplayer just enraptured everybody. Now, since you've ruined Halo, you don't have anything to fall back on. You can Fable for whatever reason. I have no idea. You got rid of the franchise. Gears is, you cancel Scalebound. So, I mean, what exactly are you working on that supposedly is going to be this game that's going to be something that people will want to play all the time? Like I said, E3, they better bring it.
You know what I believe they finna do, man? And I don't know if they already got something like this. Like, I don't know if this is what Halo Wars is, but I see them trying to make Halo into like a Destiny Division type of a game.
Now, see, I had an idea a long time ago. I said, if they could find a way to combine Halo as it is and Halo Wars into a seamless experience. For instance, like, let's say that I'm playing, we're playing regular Halo, and I'm on the ground, and I'm doing normal Halo stuff, regular first-person point of view, but we run up onto some Covenant that has some really huge artillery. It's like, oh, we can't handle this. You're playing it from a Halo Wars perspective. You see the top down of the whole map, and I can say to you, hey, I need you to send me some Hornets, or I need you to send me a Vulture to take out this base. Then you're playing it from a Halo Wars perspective. I'm playing it from a regular Halo's perspective, and it's all integrated into one game. That's something that I thought that Microsoft should have done a long time ago. Maybe they couldn't do it. I think they could probably do it now. Now, if that's something that they're working on, something like that, that could be revolutionary.
See, that reminds me of what Ubisoft was trying to do with Ghost Recon on the Wii U. I remember they showed the demo of how people were out in the field, and I think a guy, he was using like a what you call those things? Those robots that they fly. What are they called?
Drones.
He was using like a drone, and he was able to see using the gamepad.
Yeah.
That's something they were trying to do. But I want to jump in on this Microsoft thing. I think one of the issues that I'm assuming what Microsoft does is you had games like Recore, Quantum Break. I don't want to put Sunset Overdrive in there, but I think Microsoft puts these unrealistic release dates on themselves. Like, let's say Remedy come to Microsoft and say, "Hey, we got this new game called Quantum Break. We want to bring it out, and we're still working on it." And Phil Spencer's like, "All right, it has to come out August 18th." Like, and now they got to rush. They don't put the polish on the game that they could possibly do. So you got a lot of games that's coming out that's not as good as they could be. And I want to talk about Phil's the Netflix thing. I don't really have a problem with that, but as everybody has already said, I don't trust Microsoft. Like, I don't trust you with these games. I don't trust you with this model. I trust my PlayStation because I know that they're going to give me something. I trust Nintendo if they were still going to do something like this, but I don't trust Microsoft. And I think as time goes on, they're slowly losing the trust of the consumer. And then with Phil saying stuff like this, it's really not helping at all.
I agree.
So,
also, they also got, and I just thought about this. I was watching Mr. T. He was playing Jet Force Gemini. Dude, remake these games or make new games in these series. Like, you got all these rare IPs. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Where's Battletoads? Where's Jet Force Gemini? Where's Perfect Dark? Come on, man.
Like,
I mean, just a rare library in and of itself. They have so many gems buried in that.
Exactly.
And they're not using. I mean, look at the shot in your arm you got from bringing back Killer Instinct. You know, right. I mean that a lot of people were still on the fence about the Xbox One because it was off of that horrible reveal. People were like, "Oh, DRM, they can go stick it," you know. But when they came out on E3 and they said, and then you heard that music and you saw the logo, and I'm like, no, and it's like you Killer Instinct, like that made people say, okay. All right, I gotta hear what they're talking about now, and that woke up a lot of people. You know, you have to do stuff like that,
right? So, bringing it back to to what I was asking again, though. I don't even know what. There ain't no point in continuing this comment because I don't get this ain't gonna help them in the long run, because we've already seen this with Microsoft, and Keith said it best. You don't trust them. I don't like with Killer Instinct. That's one of the reasons I don't play the game. I got characters on here that I can't play because I haven't bought that season, and I'm not going to give you 20. In order to get all the rest of the characters, I'm probably going to have to pay like $60 to get them characters. Well, I don't want to do that. So I ain't gonna play it. So I go upstairs, or I go and I play something on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One if I want a fighting game. I mean, or the Switch if I want a fighting game, because I don't want to keep playing these same characters because I bought this particular season. And it's like, if this is your plan from here on out, is to just puzzle piece us to death, like I sign out. I'm like, no, I guess I'd be a Switch PlayStation 4 owner and not worry about the Xbox One or the Xbox brand or that game. Because to me, you need both. Do that and make a great single player experience where you have to put creative thought to it and create that lane as well. You need both, I think, to survive. You just can't do the microtransaction, quick multiplayer experience type games, and that's gonna work for you.
Well, I don't understand why these companies just don't give you a full game experience and then give you extra instead of basically taking everything that was supposed to be a game in the first place and stretching it out and charging you more than what the game should have cost. Why don't you just make the full complete game and give us part 2, part 3, part 4 to the actual saga? You know, I mean, I don't have a problem with episodic stuff. You know, if this is going to be a brand new adventure different from what I did before, and I only have to pay a little bit more. I mean, I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but if this is all stuff that should have been in the game in the first place, and you're charging me extra for stuff that should have been in the game, a $60 game, I can't get down with that. That's why I haven't touched Star Wars Battlefront 1, and I'm not going to touch Part 2 because I know they're going to do the same crap. I'm not going to pay $120 for a game that still doesn't even have everything that the last Battlefront had, the correct version. I gotta go to a cutscene, jump in and out of a vehicle. What the hell is that? Seriously.
April already said it. He said time is money. That's why they don't do that. Give you the full game. That's why they want to stretch it and try to pull as much from your wallet as possible. And it sucks.
Yeah.
K-Bomb, before we move on, man, I'm giving you the opportunity. Keep your mic doing that again. I just want to bring it to your attention. I don't know. But go ahead, K-Bomb. You got something you want to add to that?
What were we talking about again?
All right, you remind me of somebody else. Anyway,
my fault, man. My wife had called me, so
I'm messing. We still talking about what we were talking about before with whole Microsoft.
Oh yeah, the Microsoft, man. I've already. Did I say my piece about them already? Yeah, I said
you did.
Man, I don't know, man. I think you also put it very well when you talked about identity. I think they want quick wins and quick money. But see, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. I don't get how you're going to release a new console without fresh games. I don't. Yeah, I don't understand it. So they have to show me a lot more because I just don't get their direction.
I feel you. So let's move on. I guess we have to wait and see. Like D2K said, hopefully they got something under their sleeve that's really going to impress us and show us what their direction is and make us believers. Because right now I don't believe. I think Phil Spencer. At one time I was believing Phil Spencer. I thought he was correcting the ship, righting the wrongs of the former dude. I can't think of that dude's name, but it seemed like since they haven't started selling on par with the PlayStation 4, they had lost hope. And like now they just saying stuff that don't make any sense. It's like
there's rumors about what might happen at E3, and if the rumors come true, then they're really in big trouble.
Well, I seen some of the games they're supposed to have there, and what I saw if that list of games is legit. Yeah, they in trouble.
Well, it's not even about the games. It's about what Sony might be doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. You have to tell me off air about that one then. Or you can tell us here. It don't matter.
Well, I mean, it's more than just scuttlebutt. It's a little bit more. I don't want to say it's more legit than the rumor, but there's rumors starting to gain a little bit of strength about the possibility of the PlayStation 5 being released next fall and being revealed at E3 this year. Supposedly the guy that leaked the rumors about the PlayStation Pro and the PlayStation 4 Slim is also saying that you can expect to see the PlayStation 5 being released in the second half of 2018. And if that's going to happen, it will have to be shown for the first time pretty soon, I would think.
Okay. If man, and the dude's name that I was talking about, I think you was it Harding Soul 72? Don
Matrick, yeah.
Matrick, that's his name. But no, I'm gonna say this on that. If Sony does that, Sony are fools. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the Morpheus. That's our PlayStation VR, PlayStation Pro, now the PlayStation 5, all within a year of each other. That's ridiculous. If they do that, I'll be looking at them like Phil Spencer. Y'all some fools. Y'all don't really know what y'all want to do. So
well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, that's 5 years from the launch of the PlayStation 4. So but technically that is a console cycle.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, you release the Pro. If you're going to do the PlayStation 5, you shouldn't have never released the Pro.
Well, I mean, I could say the same thing about Scorpio. They shouldn't be releasing that. They should release the Xbox 2. whatever they want to call it.
agree.
But I think that Microsoft and Sony have basically said that we're not any maybe Nintendo to a certain extent is that maybe the whole console generation thing is over, and it's going to be about iterations, not generations. You're probably going to have a more powerful versions of the Switch in iterations. You got the PlayStation 4 Pro, you get the PlayStation 5, and you have a PlayStation 5 Pro, and then a PlayStation 6, and then you got, and it'll be like that where, it's just iterations. In this generation of people have already used to that. Like I said before, people are used to buying a new smartphone every year. They're used to buying a new tablet every year. So it's not like it's a huge outlandish thing that people are like, well, I'm never used to this. Well, yes, you are. You're just not used to doing it with consoles. So, people stomp their feet and yell and shake their fists. Oh, this is the dumbest thing ever. And they'll be the first people in line when they're released to buy it.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, and I'm going to use something that I think I got from you, D2K. There's a new type of fools. They do that. I'm going to tell you why. The PlayStation 4 Pro ain't selling that good. If you look at the sales.
But people actually got it and say, you know what, this is not doing
right.
Thing. And that could be more motivation for Sony to go ahead with the PlayStation 5. So, okay, we screwed up with PlayStation 4 Pro. Here's the real upgrade.
Right. I mean, and that's what I'm saying.
Because PlayStation 4 Pro, quite as it's kept, was really more or less so that people can have a more buttery smooth PlayStation VR experience.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, we all know that. I'm just saying, while I'm not saying it's not possible, because it's like you said, it's all rumored.
They should just bundle the whole thing together. Just call it the PlayStation experience or something like that. Instead of selling it separately. That way people would have had a reason to have a PlayStation 4 Pro. They wouldn't be saying, well, this is not giving me a better version of PlayStation 4. Well, it wasn't designed for that. It was just designed for you to be able to play VR properly.
Right. So let's do this, man. We had to come back on that, man, because I'd love for you to show me some of the stuff that you've been checking out. But let's go to this last topic, man. So Darksiders 3 has just been leaked. It was supposed to show up with IGN, but some kind of way it got out before they were able to do their, I guess, the world premiere of it. Now we all know that this was made by THQ, which went under, and I forgot who bought this franchise or this IP. I don't know who bought it. Alpha Month, Keith?
I think it was Nordic Games. I think.
They're called THQ Nordic now, aren't they?
Yeah. So they bought this franchise and everything, and if I ask y'all, I know Keith and K-Bum hasn't played it. But as follows, the first one was Darksiders. The original was kind of like a more hardcore, action-packed Zelda-like experience. It was like take Zelda and mix it with a Bayonetta or God of War type of.
That's what I was going to say. It played like God of War to me.
Yeah, like God of War, but with a Zelda-like elements to it. And that's basically what Darksiders was. And then the second one kind of went away from that, went a whole nother route, which I don't know if I won't necessarily say I didn't like it, but I don't think I liked it as much as I liked the original. But now you have Fury, which is a female protagonist, and she and her part of the story is about to be told, which there's four different storylines. You got death, you got war, now you got Fury, and then you got what's it? Pestilence? Is that the one? Can't think of the fourth one. But anyway, so this is an Unreal Engine 4 game. What do y'all think about it? Is it something that you're interested in? I kind of am. I'm really interested in it. Whether it comes to the Switch or not, I'm interested. So starting with Keith first. Were you interested in this announcement?
Not really, but I always keep a close eye on not certain games, but I always keep a close eye on games when they announce and see if I may want it later on down the line. Like I was saying when we was offline, I had the first one played. I got the second one on the Wii U, but I don't have the interest to keep playing them all the way through. I don't know. So I
Yeah.
kind of see this one being the same way. So
And you the first one I played through it got a little chorish towards the end. The second one definitely did. The second one got real chorish. And that's kind of what took me out of it. And they took away some of the. They didn't have a block. You couldn't block in the game. Everything was dodging, and I ain't like that because it wasn't realistic to me. You need to be able to block some of these people that you're facing off against. So, but anyway, but yeah, it is one of them games that once you get to a certain place, it's kind of backtracking, like Metro Prime, but in a sense where you don't want to do it. So it took me a while to finally beat the game because I was kind of burnt out on it halfway through it. So, but I still enjoyed the game, but like you said, it get chory kind of. But DJK, have you saw anything about this game or interested in? No? Yes?
I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't really been interested in it. It was actually available as a free game on Xbox One, and I didn't even care to download it. I was like, yeah.
Which one? Death?
Part 2.
Part 2? Death?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, man. Yeah.
You might like it, D2, but like I said, it gets chory, but I think you would like it. I think you would. It's that classic hack and slash beat 'em up.
I mean, I love hack and slash games. I just looked at this particular game. I didn't think it was interesting. I watched some gameplay videos of it. I said, and I mean, only thing that would make only reason why I have an interest in it at all is because the artwork is done by one of my favorite artists, Joe Madureira. But other than that, yeah.
Before I throw this to K-Bum Twin, Keith, what did you think about the storyline? Because that's another element I did like about the game. And they also had the dude that played Luke Skywalker as the one of the voice of one of the characters in it. I think in Death he was the demon or whatever that you was kind of tied to or whatever that you was working for. But that was, I don't know, Luke Skywalker, the Luke dude real's name.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, yeah. He played
the Joker.
Yeah, he played that character. But what do you think about the storyline a little bit that you played? Did you like it?
What it was based on had me intrigued.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough to keep me going though.
Yeah, actually, that's what kept me going. The gameplay got boring quick. Well, not quick, but the storyline, finishing the storyline is what kept me going. Like I wanted to know what happened, why war. If you don't know the story, it's war. I don't want to tell the story. I feel like might be ruining it, but something happened with war in the first one, and he triggered something that he wasn't supposed to trigger, and he's in trouble for it. And Death came to kind of find out who set war up. But I can't remember because I beat it. I don't remember what Death ended up, what the conclusion of Death. But now Fury is here to battle the 7 deadly sins. They actually making these individuals. So it's intriguing. But like I said, once you play through about half the game, you will experience all the game has to offer in gameplay. Then it just becomes about the story. So, but K-Bum, like, interested in this or anything?
Nah. I know you've talked to me about the first one, I believe, a while ago. I do believe this is the one that had kind of some I don't know if it was satanic, but I know it had some
angels and
some stuff in there that
Nephilim and all that biblical stuff.
Yeah, that I wasn't too excited about. And I know I've seen Darksiders, but I was never interested in that game. I do like hack and slash, but I don't like Devil May Cry hack and slash games.
This ain't like Devil May Cry. It ain't Devil May Cry.
Okay, yeah, cause I don't do like the Bayonetta and stuff like that. That type of hack and slash. But no, I've never really been interested in this game, so it's never been on my radar. So any spoilers, anything for that, or previews for it, or leaks. I've never really paid too much attention to it. I know I never did get into the first two that came out, so I don't have too much to say about this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of interested in it, man. I like what I saw. It'd be one that I'm kind of like Keith. I'm gonna keep my eye on. If it show up on the Switch, it might intrigue me even the more. But I would probably still get it on the PlayStation 4 if I see what I like. If what I see, I end up liking. So, but yeah, that's one I'm gonna keep my eye out on. Anything else, man? I ain't got anything else. Because I felt like we'd be on the Microsoft piece for a minute, which we was. So, and the Mario Kart went farther than I thought we would go. But anyway,
yeah, I didn't mention this game on what I've been playing. It's a game I've been playing called I Am Hero. It's on Steam. I don't know if it's on Xbox One or PS4, but y'all should take a look at that game. It's a beat 'em up, kind of like the Streets of Rage type of games, except it's on a more linear path. I think D2K, I think you'll really like it, but it's pretty fun. It's a beat 'em up. I haven't made it far, but I bought it for like $5 just to let you know how big it is. But
there's this game coming out called Dusty. Is that what it's called? It's a beat 'em up. It's coming out.
Dusty.
I think it's called Dusty or something like that. I had to look it up. It might be what you talking about, Keith. I'm not for sure. But let me ask this last question because I meant to ask it before with the whole Switch talk with the sales of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Do you believe ARMS will continue the trend? I'm gonna start with D2K first. K-Bomb 20, then I'll end with you, Keith. D2, do you believe that ARMS will continue the sales trend with the Switch?
I don't know, because that's a new IP, and it's a risky new IP. It's a very niche game because it's not really a fighting game per se. It's more of a party type game, even though it's got fighting game elements to it. A lot of people who have played it say they enjoy it. It's not something that you can really look at and say, boy, this is, a lot of people look at it and say, oh, I don't think this is good. But then they played it and say, okay, this is pretty good. Some other people say, I played it and still doesn't feel pretty good. So it could be a hit or miss type game. I'm not sure how deep the gameplay actually is. It might be something that's fun to play with a bunch of people, but as far as just sitting playing by yourself, maybe it's not as exciting. So I don't know if that will translate into sales for the Switch. It just basically goes back to marketing. If they know how to market this correctly, then they can use that and they can keep the Switch going throughout the summer months. But just based off of as it is, I don't know if it's enough to turn heads just because it's there.
Okay. K-Bomb 20.
I personally, I have not seen why the game has the current appeal that it has. Basically because it's not really something that I would play, so I'm not gonna hold their sale numbers up to my expectations because of my perceptions of what I like to play. But just to basing it off what it is, and it's being a new IP, we do have to look at that the two games that have been selling like blockbusters have been icons for Nintendo, Zelda and Mario, and these games have been selling like hotcakes. But ARMS is the new guy on the street, and I don't see him selling like the icons. I mean, Mario Kart sells for a lot of people because it has the name Mario Kart. I mean, that alone was going to make people go buy it. And for some people, the same thing for Zelda. Yes, it's a great game, but the fact that it says Zelda, people are going to buy it without even possibly even knowing much about it. But for here, you kind of have to know what you're getting into, and it's a game that not too many people, if you haven't really been paying too much attention, truly know what you're getting yourself into. So I'm going to say no. I do not think it's going to continue on the sale. Do I think it's going to be a good game? Probably will be a good game. Hoping that the Nintendo online infrastructure can showcase this game the way it should be. But no, I don't think this is going to continue that momentum that Mario Kart has picked up on.
Okay, all right. Keith?
All right. Am I clear?
Yeah, you're clear.
Okay.
Good.
All righty. So I think it will. I think it's going to continue the trend because you got to consider what Nintendo's actually doing. I believe all of these games that they're putting out, they have spaced out purposely, wisely, because I think all of these games could probably come out right now if they really wanted them to. So they have been spacing games out to the point where they can give all the attention to it, market it as well as they need to market it. And I think Orange is going to continue that trend because you have all that time in between from now until, what is it coming out, June 17th or something like that?
Yeah, June, yeah.
You got a lot of time to market that, and it's the next major game. You don't have anything else coming out besides indie games and maybe Street Fighter 2, the remaster Street Fighter 2 game.
Right.
That's all you got coming out. So I think it's going to do well because they have strategized this whole year. Nintendo's let you know this whole year what's coming out. You know what I mean? And you got to consider what we already been talking about early on in this conversation is when we were talking about Mario Kart. 7 point some million people bought Mario Kart 8 and they double dip on the Switch version. Why wouldn't they buy Orange?
Well, it's Mario Kart.
Well, I'm saying like,
Mario Kart has a long history, and ARMS is a brand new IP. So,
right.
I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, yes, it's you know, it's not the same type of game, but it's got the same, you know, cartoon graphics type game. If you like that type of game, if you like Splatoon, you like Mario type stuff, then you would think they would be interested in this. But because it's so non-standard, it may turn people off because it's not just a boxing game. It's not just a fighting game. It's not just a party game. It's very unique and different, and it takes some explaining on what you actually have to do, and that's something that can hurt in terms of selling a game because people have to experience it. Now, word of mouth could make this game sell very well, but marketing is going to be very tricky for Nintendo to market this game because, like I said, you can't get the gist of how the actual HD Rumble and the Joy-Cons and the accelerometers and the Joy-Cons actually affect how you're actually punching people by watching people do it on TV. You can't understand that. You actually have to hold it in your hand. That's the reason why this game should be in the kiosks at GameStop and Target and Walmart and whatever, so people can play this and feel this. That way they can say, I'm getting this when it comes out. That's what happened with Wii Sports. Wii Sports sold the Wii better than anything else. You didn't have to ask questions. You already knew what the Wii remote could do because you played Wii Sports. You played the bowling. You played the basketball, the baseball. You played the golf. You said, I'm buying this day one. So with a game like ARMS, people need to actually feel that in their hands so they can say, I know what this is like. I know how it plays. It's fun. We're buying it.
Here's my rebuttal. I want to rebuttal that. Okay, so yes, the reason I brought up the spacing and the marketing and things like that is because arguably there is it appears to be that Nintendo fans are hungry. And that's why I also think that kind of helped push Mario Kart 8. Because I'm pretty sure that 7 point something still has Mario Kart 8 and they can continue to play it. It's not like the new battle mode is revolutionary. You know, it's a great push. It helped me buy it, but it's still the same game. It's still the same tracks. And the online is still free on the Wii U. And I just think that the core audience is going to gravitate to it. Maybe not the other people, the fan base, not fan base, but the casual. But I think the core audience is going to gravitate to it. And I think it's more of the core audience early on that's going to get it over that imaginary million mark, in my opinion.
And that's where I agree. I think I'm leaning more towards it not continuing the sell trend of both Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8. And I think even in its placement, I don't think Nintendo is expecting it to do it either. The reason I say that is Breath of the Wild had a good space in between it and Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart has a good space in between it and ARMS. ARMS is butted up right next to Splatoon 2. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so to me, what it's suggesting is, and I want to go back to something D2K said, which I believe he was right, but I believe like the way he got there might have been not the way it was. Because to me, I never played Wii Sports. I only seen it, and I knew what it was by just seeing it. And I think casuals didn't have to experience Wii Sports. Seeing it was self-explanatory. Whereas,
you're a gamer, so you already know.
I'm talking about those who, like my mom and them. They saw it and understood it. They never played it. But they understood just by watching videos on it. Whereas ARMS, even watching it, you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, even me as a gamer, I understand what they're trying to do, but I still have to play it to really, I don't know. So while you are right though, as people begin to play Mario Kart, Wii Sports, it began to sell itself. Honestly, I'm be honest, I don't think ARMS has that power. Just looking at it and what it's about is too frantic. It ain't as settled in a calm setting like a tennis or bowling or baseball, which is not pressure on you. It's just fun. With ARMS, you gotta dodge, you gotta juke, it's a lot going on that's gonna require more skills to do that. So I'm gonna be honest. I think this will be the game that it comes out. It might hit 200,000, maybe 150, and then it might be a slow burn to 1 million. Whereas Splatoon is going to be where they pick it back up, where it just hit 1 million in that weekend.
Well, like I said, it depends on whether or not it gains traction. I mean, this is something that really takes off and word of mouth, sells it, then it could be a monster.
Right.
But we don't know. This, like I said, it's not saying that this game can't be great. It's just that you can look at Mario Kart, and like you said, you can look at Wii. People can look at Wii Sports and they say, I get it. But with this, it's like, well, I need to play this to find out what this is about. And you actually play it. Oh, okay, that's what this is about. Yeah, let me give me 2 of those, please. And
I'm not even saying that it's like you said, it's nothing about if the game is good. I'm saying what we've been seeing so far from the major first party releases from Nintendo, all of them has hit 1 million already. Zelda is clearly over 1 million. Mario Kart 8 is actually selling faster than Zelda. Deluxe is. I think ARMS will be the first game that doesn't do that. It will probably sell like maybe 200, which is good. But then after that, I think what you're saying, D2K, is going to be correct. It's going to be a slow burn as people begin to find out that by testimonials of others, hey, this game was good. You might want to try it. That's what's going to help it. But it's not going to reach it as fast as Splatoon 2 is going to do coming right behind it. And like Keith said, Nintendo has paced this stuff out right. And I noticed they didn't put no 2-month space between this game and Splatoon 2. They made sure, matter of fact, I don't even think it's a good month difference. So that tells me that Nintendo is not banking on this game selling like they believe Mario Kart would and Breath of the Wild would. And I believe they believe Splatoon will be that next 1 million in 2 days seller.
It's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah. Well, Splatoon gonna sell 1 million.
Like I said, it's a 1-2 punch. I mean, when boxing, you lead in with your left jab, right, and you come with your right cross. Boom, right, boom. That's what it is. It's
right. I got what you're saying now. So that's what I mean, Keith. I think you're right. I think it's going to be a great game. I think we as core fans are going to run out of buy. And I think even some of us are going to be kind of hesitant. because it is a new IP, because it is drastically different. Everything that D2K articulated, I agree. That's why I don't believe it's going to continue to trend. I think the Switches are going to continue to sell. I'm saying they're trend with the games, the way the first party games are selling. I don't think it's going to continue.
I was just trying to strengthen my own argument. And, and Orange comes out June 16th, and Splatoon comes out July 21st.
Now, that's very interesting because that's right around E3 time.
Right.
So a lot of people I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of ARMS at E3, and people will say, I got to go out and get this right now, that people who actually will be able to play on the show floor or whatever out in California, wherever they have the event at. So that is a very strategic release. That's probably why they put it there, because they weren't sure whether or not people would go out and buy it just any other random month. But right after E3, everybody sees ARMS, everybody sees people on stage playing it, people who actually were there get to play it. Now they say, oh, it's coming out next week. Boom, I got it. So
now, don't they got a tournament key for ARMS?
That's what they say in the chat. I don't know, but that's what they're saying in the chat.
My phone died. I think they do. So, D2K, that speaks to what you said. They might have put it there because they knew, like Splatoon, they might have needed something, because they showed Splatoon off crazy, and that's what sold everybody on it. Maybe the tournament with ARMS will be where that game gets his wing.
If they do, see, I think they should just bring back Power Fest and make that permanent at E3, because they did it a couple of years ago. They had the Nintendo World Championships and they had Smash Bros and stuff like that. That's what they need to do with this. Have the because that was hype. That was when they had the stage and they had Reggie up there and all that type of stuff. The fans was cheering them on. Do more stuff like that, because that took me right back to the 80s, thinking about that movie The Wizard and how they were playing against each other, and then they first unveiled Super Mario Brothers 3 for the first time in a movie to everybody. I'm like, that's the type of stuff Nintendo needs to get back to. That's what they should do with ARMS. That would be tight. They did that.
Okay. Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's a possibility that it might, but I still lean to it not. But looking at how they placed it and coming out at E3 like that, if they gonna have a tournament, that's definitely gonna help it sell. Because if the tournament is successful, because it could not translate, and people it might make you like, I don't think I want this, so it could work either way. So we'll see. But gut feeling, I'm still say no. I think it's gonna be one of them games that people realize is great and pick up after the fact. It'll probably get there after Splatoon, and maybe in that era where we waiting on that next iteration, then it might hit. But I think it's gonna be a slow burn to 1 million. I think it'll hit out like 250 out the gate, and then after that, slow burn to 1 mil. That's what I think it is. Yeah. But anyway, this has been
one before you do that, one more thing. Did you get a chance to watch Dragon Ball Super last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Now I got some questions which I will ask off air, because as much as I keep up with Dragon Balls, I watched a video where they was kind of talking about Gohan and getting back to his mystic form and suggesting that he's more powerful than Goku. And I have problems with this. But anyway, that's why I want to talk to you off the air. But yeah, I did watch it, D2, to answer your question though.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go ahead and sign out, man. Starting with the man with the popcorn in his hand, Mr. Norris.
Yes, Piccolo. I won't be holding back now. No, it was a good podcast.
Yeah, that was a dope line. And he whooped them up. Anyway, let's stop. Go ahead and sign out, man.
No, it was a good podcast, man. I'm be the champion of Orange. I'm gonna hold out and say it's gonna do numbers. It's because of the advanced state. But anyways, man, it's been real.
All right, K-Bomb 20.
Hey guys,
podcast. One last note I'll leave you guys with that don't be like Level, don't be hypocrite.
All right, D2K, I don't know what you got going on over there, but it's loud as the mud.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. This is D2K. You guys take it easy. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later.
All right, fellas, this is Levelhead, and this was the Live and Level Gamers podcast. See y'all on the flip side.
Well.